Level 1. You save people from fire. You're walking past a luxury high-rise at 11 p.m. when you see it burning. The lobby has marble floors. The parking garage is full of Porsches and Range Rovers. The kind of building where monthly maintenance fees cost more than most people make in a year. The third floor is on fire, and it's climbing. The fire trucks are already there, but the ladder only reaches the 8th floor, and residents are starting to appear on their balconies from the 9th floor up. You walk over to the fire chief, tell him you need his megaphone, and take off before he can respond. You fly up the face of the building, megaphone in hand, shouting into each floor. Get to your balcony or go up to the roof. Do not use the stairs. You work your way from the 9th floor to the 35th, while the crew on the ground stands watching and nobody says anything. Then you start bringing people down. 2 at a time, fly down, set them on the sidewalk, fly back up. 50 people in under an hour. The footage goes up at midnight, and by morning it has 12 million views. The people you saved are executives, lawyers, business owners, people who aren't used to owing anyone anything and aren't comfortable with the feeling. A week later, you get an envelope with no return address. Inside is a key to a brand new Tesla Model S. Someone else sends over the deed to a studio apartment in Manhattan. A man calls and says he wants to transfer stock in his company, currently worth $400,000. You check your net worth at the end of the month, and it's crossed $1 million. The viral video also brings in thousands of messages from strangers who want your number in case they ever need you. You set up a hotline and make it public. $3,000 per call. That's how the business starts. The first month you get 2 calls, the second month none, the third month 1. You sit staring at your phone and realize you can't build a financial plan around how many fires happen to break out in a given month. Then one evening you get a call from a student apartment building burning in the suburbs. 4 floors, crumbling walls, a wooden staircase already on fire, screaming from above. You start bringing people down. Students in pajamas, clutching laptops, backpacks, textbooks. When it's over, you're standing on the sidewalk looking at a group of kids sitting on the ground staring up at what used to be their home, faces drained. One of them turns and asks how much. You look at all of them. None of them are older than 20. You shake your head and fly away. After that, you stop charging for calls like that. By the end of the second year, most of what you do is free. Your income is unpredictable, and you need another source of revenue. Profit. Very low. Risk. Medium. Sometimes the heat of fire really bothers you. Level 2. You make climbing immortal. You read an article about K2, the second deadliest mountain in the world, where 1 in 4 climbers never comes back down. They don't die because they lack skill or equipment. They die from a single misstep, a moment of lost balance. The kind of mistake that one person in the right place at the right time could have prevented entirely. You look at the photo of the sheer vertical face in the article and think something very simple. If I were there, they wouldn't have died. You build a website. No company name, no logo. Just one line. Climb anywhere you want without worrying about dying. $30,000 a day. Maximum 2 people per group. Clients handle their own flights, accommodation, and gear. You just show up. You're not charging for the number of times you intervene. You're charging for your presence, the same way you hire a bodyguard. Not because you're certain you'll be attacked, but because you want to be certain that if you are, someone will handle it. Your first clients are 2 friends from Tokyo who have never climbed professionally and want to do El Capitan in Yosemite, a 900-meter vertical face that under normal circumstances only experts attempt. You meet them at the base at 6 a.m. They look up at the wall, then back at you, and one of them asks where you'll be while they climb. You tell him you'll be flying alongside and below them the entire time, never more than 5 meters away. He looks at you for another moment, then starts tying his harness. They climb in a way that first-timers aren't supposed to be able to climb. No hesitation, trying moves they would never attempt if you weren't there. The second one slips at the 200-meter mark, and you catch him before he understands what happened. Set him back on the rock face, and drift back to your position. He stands still for a second, then keeps climbing like nothing happened. They reach the summit at 3 p.m. $60,000 hits your account that night. The waitlist stretches 2 months out. You raise the price to $50,000 a day. The waitlist stays 2 months out. Then you start noticing something changing in the way clients climb. The early groups were careful, deliberate, hands firm on the rock. The later groups are different. Faster, more reckless, attempting moves that even professionals wouldn't try. One man lets go of the rock face at the 400-meter mark just to see if you'll catch him in time. You do. He laughs. You don't. You start finishing each day more exhausted than the last, not physically from the flying, but from tracking every move of two people who are climbing like they're immortal. Each trip you catch more falls than the one before because they're falling more than the one before. But the money keeps coming in and the wait list keeps growing, so you keep going. Then one morning on Annapurna at 6,500 meters, two people fall at the same time. One slips on the left side of the face. The other loses balance on the right, 40 meters apart. You go for the closer one, catch him, turn back, and the other has already hit the rock. He survives, but his spine is severely damaged, and he will never walk normally again. His family sues you. Their lawyers argue that you offered a service guaranteeing absolute safety and failed to deliver on that promise. 3 governments and countries where you'd operated open investigations. 6 months later, you receive a ruling banning the business on the grounds that there is no legal framework to license a service where human lives depend on the capabilities of an individual who cannot be verified or certified by any regulatory body. You take the website down. The waitlist still has 4 months on it. Profit, high risk, high. Level 3. You break sports. Your first idea is basketball. You show up at a pickup game near your place, join a team, and start playing. An opponent shoots and you jump up and hover, catching the ball easily. But then a 6'7" guy comes charging at you like a freight train, uses his body to push you out of the way, and scores. You get home and sit with that for a few days. You can fly, but you're not big enough, strong enough, or fast enough to compete in a sport where size decides everything. You search for sports where hovering is an advantage. You read about pole vault, long jump, skiing, surfing. Then you read about high jump and stop. No teammates, no competing for position, just you and a bar. You get to a track at 5 a.m. when nobody's there, set the bar at 2.45 meters. Javier Sotomayor's record from 1993, untouched for over 30 years. Step back and run at it. You've never high jumped in your life. Your technique is non-existent. You run straight at the bar like you're about to walk into a wall, jump, and your back clears 2.45 with enough room for another person between you and the bar. You land on the mat and lie there looking up at the sky, not sure what to feel. You stand up, set the bar to 2.60, clear it. 2.70, clear it. You stop there. You go home, open your laptop, and watch professional high jump videos until sunrise. The curved run-up, the hip rotation, the landing. You compare it to what you just did and realize that anyone watching footage of you this morning would see someone flying, not jumping. And you can't afford to be exposed as a fraud. You start training every morning alone before anyone shows up. Week 1, you work on the run-up. Week 2, you work on rotating your hips over the bar. Week 3, you practice the expression of someone actually trying. Because your face, when you clear 2.50, looks like someone taking a casual stroll. 2 months later, you enter a local meet. You jump 2.20 and win easily while pretending to work for it. The second-place finisher claps you on the shoulder and asks where you train. You say, self-taught. Regionals, you jump 2.30. Nationals, you jump 2.38. And for the first time, someone with a clipboard watches you from start to finish, writing things down you can't see. World Athletics Championship. 50,000 people in the stands. The announcer is buzzing. You walk out to the runway, look up at the bar set at 2.46, and take the kind of deep breath you've rehearsed. The one athletes take before jumping, not the one people take before doing something that requires 0 effort. Curved run, jump. Your back clears the bar. The bar doesn't move. The crowd goes silent for half a second. Then, the entire stadium erupts. Javier Sotomayor is watching live somewhere in the world. His 30-year record just became history. You stand in the middle of the arena listening to 50,000 people and think you could clear another half meter without trying harder. Nike calls 2 days later. Adidas calls on the 3rd day. You agree to a $1 million endorsement deal while eating instant noodles in your hotel room. Then you move into freestyle skiing. You fly out to Switzerland, rent a small place near the mountain, and learn to ski from scratch. Week 1, you fall more than you stand. Week 2, you start controlling your speed. Month 2, you work your way up to steeper runs and learn to read the terrain. Where to build speed, where to take off. Month 3, you stand at the top of a competition slope for the first time, look down the run, and drop in. When you leave the end of the ramp and go airborne, you stay up long enough to land a triple cork. 3 off-axis rotations combined with 3 flips, a trick no competitor has ever landed in official competition. You touch down. The crowd doesn't react for 2 full seconds because their brains haven't finished processing what their eyes just saw. Then they start screaming. Profit, medium. Risk, very low. Level 4. You sell the sky. The idea comes one evening when you're flying alone along the Norwegian coastline, watching the northern lights move overhead. You think about what someone would pay to see this from here. You go home and design a harness. A modified climbing harness, adjusted so a passenger locks securely against your body while you fly, both your hands free to hold a selfie stick. You spend a week testing it with your girlfriend. First day you fly loops around the city while she holds on and screams the whole time. By day 3, she starts laughing instead of screaming. By day 7, she's taking photos mid-flight. You film one of those flights with the selfie stick, both of you in frame, faces to the camera, the city at sunset stretched out behind you. You post it to TikTok and Instagram. No long caption, just 60 seconds of footage and one line at the end. $20,000. DM to book. 4 million views in 48 hours. Messages flood in. Your first client is a 45-year-old woman from Singapore who books the Northern Lights in Norway. You meet her in Tromsø at 10 p.m., pitch black outside, -15. She looks at you, looks at the harness in your hands, and asks if it hurts. You say no. She lets you clip her in, checks every buckle herself, then looks you straight in the eye and says she's ready. You take off. At 3,000 meters, the aurora starts, green and violet ribbons moving slowly across the black sky. She doesn't say anything. You raise the selfie stick and start filming. On the screen is her face with the aurora behind it. You fly into the middle of the light and she reaches out and runs her hand through the air like she thinks she can touch it. 4 hours later, you land back at the hotel at 2 a.m. She looks at the footage on your phone without speaking for a while. Then she says it's the best $20,000 she's ever spent. You post the video, 8 million views in a day. The wait list hits 3 months in the first week. Week 2, a 115-kilogram client books. You make the flight, but come back with shoulders so sore you can't lift your arms. You take 2 days off. You add a line to the booking page, $5,000 surcharge for guests over 90 kilograms. A week later, you change it to $10,000. Nobody complains because they're still paying $20,000 for something that doesn't exist anywhere else on the planet. You raise the base price to $30,000 to cut demand. The waitlist stays at 4 months. Then in week 8, you take 7 back-to-back bookings in 1 week because clients rescheduled and everything piled up. Flight 6 is Grand Canyon. 95-kilogram client, you fly from the rim down to the canyon floor and back up while he screams with excitement and the wind pushes hard against you the whole way. You get back to the hotel, sit down on the bed, and realize your body is wrecked. The demand is infinite. You are not. Profit, high risk, medium. Your health is your limitation.